Just getting the new books out for tomorrow. Absolute Batman continues. We finally hit a year on the Absolute titles, and they're continuing to go strong. They're amazing. Everybody just loves them. They're certainly some of the biggest attractions around here for the last year, and continue to be. You know, a lot of times people will jump on these new titles and they'll be gone by issue 3 or 4. Not the case with the Absolute Batman or any of the other Absolute titles. People really digging on the Martian Manhunter and Absolute Superman. There's Absolute Flash, there's Absolute Green Lantern, there's Absolute Evil coming, and it's absolutely about the covers this week. There's just killer covers everywhere for every title this week. I'm a sucker for a cover. That's all there is to it. And the Batman came out last week, and we still have some covers of this left, including we added some of the foil covers that you would have had to buy the blind bags and take your chances on getting. So we got one of the J. Scott Campbells there, and then what else do we have? We have one of the Del Autos. So those are all, the way it made it go all blurry there. Those are all still available, and there's only one Immortal Legend Batman left. Red Hood kicks off this week, brand new. It's Jason Todd, if you didn't know. He's back from the dead, if you will. That's not necessarily a new thing. Jim Lee on that cover. This is what I was talking about, all these covers this week. Just awesome covers. We get the foil covers for us people who like the shiny stuff. And, you know, Jay Lee cover, obviously, you can tell by the art style, but I also think he has some help there from Jun Chung. Yeah, very nice. And there you go. There's another Del Auto, obviously, right? You can tell the style. Fantastic. It's all about the covers this week. No, there's an art germ on the Supergirl. That's brand new. Imperial War, Nova Centurion. I don't know, Nova Centurion. That, just the words on that cover speaks power, doesn't it? We still have some of the Imperial War stuff left from the last couple of weeks. Black Panther and She-Hulk as well. So, a couple of those. Jedi Knights continues. Some more stories from the Jedi Knights. Here's one everybody's been waiting for. On the long list of things that has received the red band treatment, it's about time that they got around to Punisher. And again, just a bunch of great covers. Look at that shiny thing. Yeah, and look at that. Oh, yeah. These collage covers, these are great. They've done a number of these here recently. They've done them over the years, over and over again, but they're just very cool. And just about the covers, I'm not even joking. It's just cover after cover this week. Red Hulk continues to be angry and very red. This one's new, and this is interesting. So you've got the undead Iron Fist. You know who Iron Fist is, right? He reaches his arm down the dragon's throat, and he pulled the dragon's heart out, and he becomes the guardian. And somebody came along and killed him at some point, and after all these years, and now he's the undead Iron Fist. And I don't know. I've never been into the Iron Fist stories, but you got me on the Wiles Portatio cover. And these are new. X-Men of Apocalypse. This is Alpha. There's an Omega. I assume there are some number of 1 to 6 other issues somewhere in there in between. These are the only ones that I've seen ordered so far, if I remember correctly. I believe just the Alpha and the Omega. Scotty Young, obviously, isn't that great? The little Sabretooth with the pet Sabretooth there. Some Wolverine action. Whole team right there. Momoko, can't go wrong with the Momoko. There you go. Who'd have thought you saw that, right? Dynamite continues a great tradition of bringing some of these older classics, some of the 70s, the Space Ghost, the Johnny Quest, that sort of thing. Blue Falcon and Dynomutt, Jimmy Palmiotti on the pencils on that, and is just, again, cover after cover. Was it an art germ or something like that? It's got to be somebody like that, right? Amanda Connor, just amazing. I'm blown away by the covers this week. Here's a new Star Wars #1. And this is fun. This is the Dark Horse Star Wars stuff. This is Tales from the Nightlands, and this is stories from Anakin's youth. So he's already been picked up by Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is training him, and they're going around the galaxy. This is before the Clone Wars stuff. He's just in between the age of where Obi-Wan first finds him and where they sort of pick up in the next story. So somewhere in there, in his teen years, but before they get to the Clone Wars. So some stories that haven't been told yet. And the Nightlands, if you don't know what the Nightlands are, it's the land of the undead. Toxic Crusaders, they did Toxic, Toxie, the first issue was last week, and then the Toxic Crusaders, and again, the movie coming out. Unchosen, number 3, we have a complete set of that, if you want to jump in on that yet. The last set of that. Exquisite Corpses is another one, which you've heard about recently. We still have a 1 and 2. I think those are both second prints. Ghost Pepper, another one, and number 1 and a number 2. Most recent issues here this week, Godzilla, Here There Be Aliens, number 4, and Godzilla number 2, this current universe of Godzilla just taking off and starting to pick up some steam. And let's see, there was a couple other things I wanted to highlight. There's a great new story from Tynion, and it's Elsa Chartier and Jordi Belair. Just, it looks like fun. It's one of those oversized books from Distillery, so maybe not the kids type stuff, not your standard sort of superhero fare, I guess. Unlike this, which is your very classic superhero fare, which we are just starting to get some of these. They're really starting to become more available. And when this thing says Epic Collection up here, it's not joking around. We only have one of this one in particular. These we could probably order. That's one of the things about some of this stuff like this, some of these more fancy ones. I'll go to those in a second. They're easy enough for us to order for you. If you want to come in and order one, we can't carry a lot of them on the shelf because you see, that's a $45 cover price book. But that said, look at this. Look at this part here. Daredevil number 1 through number 21. It's the first 21 issues of Daredevil. So when they say Epic Collection, they are not kidding around. That thing is chunky. So then there's also the Masterworks. So we have Volume 1 and we have Volume 2 here. And if you look at these guys, these guys are $75 an issue. $75 a volume. Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 1 is X-Men 94 through 100, plus Giant Size X-Men number 1. And then you have the Marvel Masterworks Volume 2, which is the Fantastic Four numbers 1 through 10, and it's $75 as well. So it's hard for us to order stuff like this. We can only order a very limited amount of it, and we have to hope that somebody is interested in it. But the best way to do that, if you really are interested in this kind of stuff, is just come in and we'll order it for you on the spot and get the stuff shipped in for you if it's at all available. And that also, the same with the new comic books. If you want the new comic books, we have, they go fast these days. It's as fast as it's ever been. And if you want to get in on some of these titles, you hear about them after they're already 2-3 issues in, like Exquisite Corpses and Ghost Pepper. And, the best way to get those is just get on that free pull list. Get on that pull list action. And when you do sign up for the free pull list, and if you are already on a pull list, if you add a new title, you'll be in the drawing for that. And that's an Art Germ. That's the Batman number 1. That's the priced. They put it out. It's a $25 book. It's $24.99. That's the cover price of it. It's a instant ratio variant or something. I don't know. It's something that DC, I'm not sure if I like, but they're trying to sort of get in on some of the secondary ratio variant money that's out there, trying to capitalize on it. And that's a big deal because I mean, I'll just go into it real quick. This is a $15 book for us, basically. And that, right, a $15 book, that's upwards of 5 other books that we can't buy. And we have to buy that, and we have to hope that somebody's going to spend $25 on it and that we ultimately don't lose it. I think it's a losing bet for DC, but we'll see. They've done a few of them now. And, I guess maybe people missing them will put them at some value, and maybe people will come looking for them when it's all said and done. One more thing just before I go home and close the shop for the night. How to draw awesome characters, marble way, easy steps, just a little something for the kids, just something random that we happen to have around here. Drop in the store. This will all be in here for you tomorrow.